Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Cultivate Your SQUAD challenge. I am hopping right in here. Just a moment. As you're hopping in, make sure you say hello. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to make sure that I have the Facebook page pulled up because, as you know, if you've been with me all week, it does not show me all of your lovely comments on the Zoom. So we're going to try and make sure that I see those. All right, I got us pulled up. Here we go. Okay. Awesome. Maybe. It's not showing me that I'm live quite yet. Interesting. Okay, let's see what's happening here. I see lots of great comments on some of our other stuff. Let me just close the app. I apologize, guys. I just want to make sure we're pulled up here so that I can see your comments. Weird. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on there. Something's happening where I'm not able to see. Oh, it looks like Facebook is not on today. Uh-oh. Okay, well, shoot. Guess we're just going to have to go for it. I'm sorry, guys. If you're watching this, it'll be the replay then. Let me just go ahead and get this in full view. I don't know what happened there, but all right. Well, welcome back to the final day. You made it. Woohoo! Of the Cultivate Your SQUAD challenge. Today we are going to be bringing it all together. And I am Mariah Young, your hostess, as well as the CEO of the Gals community. And today I am sporting the mom bun because I have been doing the things that we've been teaching. I have been actually doing some art, which has been really great. I've been needing to do that more. I've just had this weird wall that I was not breaking through. Again, this happens sometimes to us, from time to time. So we have walls to break through. So hopefully you can relate to that a little bit. And yeah, let's move forward here. All right, we've been talking about how discovering you, dump the junk, and designing your ideal life are a really important part of the process of cultivating your squad. So, story time. Oh man, I actually posted today the post that I posted. How many times can I say post in one sentence? About my depression journey. The very first time that I ever shared was just over 9 years ago that I was struggling with depression. And I know I had been struggling with it long before then. And from that time to taking the time to explore myself, learn more about me, dump the junk, which was getting help, start setting boundaries, making sure I'm healing in the places that I needed to heal. And then finally, basically designing my life, recognizing that I get to write the story that I want to have and getting to that point where we really do that. It's a really neat thing to look back at all of that 9 years ago plus and see the work that we have accomplished, the things that we have done. And I got to tell you, if you were to ask me, if I thought I would be where I am today back then, I think I did. We've always been a little bit rebellious. We've always known that we wanted to do big things. And so that part hasn't changed about us. But did I think that it could be as amazing as it is? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. What I do have to say is, and this isn't a brag, this is so that hopefully gives you some hope that you can be in this place too. I fully enjoy being who I am. I have embraced my personality. I have embraced my gifts, my talents, the things that I'm really good at. Like, I'm great at being an MC. I'm great at being a leader. I am great at bringing fun to things. I'm also extremely creative. All of those things are things that I try and don't always perfectly succeed, but I try to incorporate into my everyday life. Also, with dumping the junk, that sounded really funny. I've learned to stop being such a pushover. I've learned that yes, I definitely still have, negative thoughts and feelings that come back, but I've learned to work with them. I've learned to allow them, but then to move on. I've learned to push them away as they are needed or let it roll off my back a little better. I've also learned to set boundaries. And I will say my hubby, he's one of the best people that helps me with that, to be honest. He's really, really good at helping me say no and evaluating, like, are you going to hate this situation? Are you going to hate this commitment? And hate's a strong word, but are you going to get down the line from now, just even, days, weeks, months? And are you going to regret that decision of saying yes? And so he has really, really helped me to not only evaluate the scenario and make sure that I'm weighing the costs of what it's going to take to do said commitment, but then also to say, no, it's okay. I don't need to do that. I don't need to add that onto my plate. And it has really helped me in these last few years, especially, to be more focused and to do the things that I want to do. And then for designing our ideal life, we have really, truly learned how to make things happen the way that we want them to happen. Between myself and my husband's personality, we have learned how we work together, how we need to communicate to make a lot of those things happen. And, how we need to put together a plan, what each of us needs, because we both need different things. We need similar things, but we need different things too. And so recognizing that for each other and making sure that the plans that we put together incorporate both of our personalities, both of our needs, and that we are creating the life that we love. And I will tell you, I am not somebody who only, makes everything for myself. I see a lot of people that do things like, they're creating their home or they're doing this. And a lot of times, and the story goes, it's the woman who's doing this for her home and the guy doesn't have a whole lot of say. I've seen it play over and over again, and that is not me. I want an amazing marriage. And so I take into consideration my husband. Anytime I'm designing anything, anytime we're talking about travel, anytime we're making a decision or we're planning or we're doing all those things, we make sure, both of us do. He's the same way. We both make sure that we each have say in what we do. And then we both put together the plan. And while I may execute it just because I work from home, but actually Alex does too. We both execute the plans. We both stay on the same page together. We're not sabotaging ourselves. We're not sabotaging each other. It's amazing. So I will say that we are loving life. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. We have things that come up just like everybody else. We have stuff that happens that we can't control. We have, grown adult kids who make decisions that we can't control. We have all kinds of factors all around us. We've had family members die over this last year. We've had, people that we're close to that we have moved away from. There's so many different things that have happened in our lives that aren't perfect. But what we've decided, and we say this all the time, even as we're going through tough stuff, as long as our relationship is solid and we fight hard for that, believe me, we're good. We can get through anything. Truly, we can. So I just wanted to share that with you as an encouragement, because it can feel sometimes when you're in those difficult times, like, is this ever going to pass? How long is this going to take? Are we ever going to get to the other side? And as long as you put a plan together with whoever you're with, your significant other, your kids, etc., and you guys can see, you can visualize, and you can, in your mind, see it happening, and you put a plan to make it happen, you absolutely can make anything happen. So I just wanted to give you that encouragement. So we are not, I'm sorry, I'm getting off my notes. I have a few things to cover today, so I want to make sure I stick with my notes here, which I had. So I have them in my hands today because over here it's hard to see. But I want to just remind you that who you surround yourself with is who you become. So surround yourself with amazing women. I cannot say this enough. I really cannot. When you talk about exploring yourself, dumping the junk, designing your ideal life, even before we started doing Cultivate Your Squad and I was teaching the signature self, I did say create your community. Because the truth is, even when you're living your ideal life, you're in this place where you're like, oh my gosh, everything is so amazing. Who you surround yourself with can take that down in an instant, or they can lift you up. And so, why fight the battle? I'll be honest, I don't make a lot of space or time for people who have high drama in their life these days. I just don't. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's too much and I don't have time for it. And I only have this one life, and I have the life that we're trying to make and we're trying to create. And unfortunately, this has been family. This has been other, relationships that I've had since I was younger, even though I don't have a ton of those because we moved. But it is true that I just don't have the time for it. And I've had to be less available for some people. And I'm sure some people think I'm weird for that, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It actually creates a very peaceful life for us, and I love it. So make sure that you drop into the comments, whether I know you're watching replay, everybody's watching replay today. Who has been somebody who has lifted you up in your ideal life? Like somebody who is helping you to get there, maybe they're encouraging you to get there. Maybe you've made pacts or you have accountability or whatever it is with these ladies. Make sure you drop a comment below on who that is. All right, so the goal has stayed the same all week. We are looking at stopping living in the story that somebody else is narrating. And we are going to start writing your story and where you're going and who those characters are. We've already talked about a lot of that. Now, while we did not go super deep into a lot of these topics, this is something that we do in our signature self process, and we will be doing even further. This whole entire thing was to kind of get you started and to give you an idea of how to cultivate your squad within this process, and to help you understand why these things are actually important for cultivating your squad. We want to see you cultivate lifelong drama-free relationships of women who will support you and lift you up. All right, so the final step is to cultivate your squad. When you have learned more about yourself, you have dumped a lot of that junk and learned how to set up boundaries, and you've designed your ideal life, it is now time to bring it all together. And we're going to not just talk about cultivating your squad. We have some ideas there, but we're also going to talk about just a tiny bit, because it's going to lead into our next quarterly challenge, but the 5 types of friendships that you need in your life. So we're going to do a quick little overview reminder of why these were important. Discovering you, understanding yourself helps you identify the types of friendships that will best support your goals and values. When you know your strengths, passions, and needs, you can seek out friends who complement and enhance these aspects of your life. So important. Dumping the junk. Clearing out negative influences and past burdens makes room for positive, supportive relationships. Setting boundaries and letting go of toxic connections allows you to focus on building meaningful relationships. So important. And finally, designing your ideal life. Visualizing your ideal life includes envisioning the types of friendships you want to cultivate. Setting goals for your relationships and actively seeking out friends who align with your vision helps you create a supportive squad. So true. All right, so we're going to just touch on this. We'll go further in this on the next challenge, which we'll do next quarter at the end of, I think we're going to do mid-August. But stay tuned for the 5 types of friendships challenge. We are already talking about this a little bit in LinkedIn, and we'll continue to talk about it in different areas. But there's 5 friendships I have found that I need. To expect one person to be all of these, it can happen. It can. but it's a little unrealistic if we're being honest. So a colleague or a peer, this is somebody who might be at work with you, or they might even be someone who does the same kind of work as you, but you don't work together. In the coaching business, this could be a coach who does similar things. Maybe is at a similar place in their business, but they understand what you're going through. That is, I can't even tell you, has become more vital for myself than almost any other relationship these days. A deep conversationalist, this is somebody, I have to admit, I have a hard time being a surface level person in general. So this is definitely me. I love those meaningful conversations. I don't love to do it over text. I'll be honest. I really prefer to do this in person over coffee, or if we're having a meal or something like that, or a walk. Yeah, love those too. An adventure buddy. Don Renee has really shown us this last year, 2 years, about how to be an excellent adventure buddy. Partnering with a friend who shares your love for spontaneity and exploration. I won't lie, I am not great at this. This is something I have to learn to be better at, because I like plans. Even though I have lots of energy and ideas, I really love to have more of a plan for what I'm doing. So this is one I have to push on myself. An accountability partner. So I will say this one, often we think about this one with health and things like that, but I have actually had accountability partners over the years for just bad habits that I have, or patterns that I've followed because of my trauma in the past. And so having an accountability partner that I've been able to call and just say, hey, I'm dealing with this issue again. Can we chat, has been key. And then finally, a comfort companion, somebody who you can just hang out with. No matter what you do, you say, they can be there to help you. They understand things. They're not judging you. They are just comfortable. Now, this is not the only types of friendships to have, obviously, but these are the top 5 that we have found, I have found, and our team has found are vital to have at least. So this is why a squad is really important, because having multiple people that can help you with multiple things is so key. Now, are they always going to get along? They might not. There's no guarantee there. So hopefully they will. They can be your squad, and you can be part of their squad. All right, let's jump right over to our workbook pages. It's a little bit smaller today, so thank goodness you guys don't have a whole lot more to do. You've already done a lot of the work, and I will encourage you to continue to do this work. If you didn't finish everything, that's okay. Some of it was a little bit heavier, but it's important to continue to do the work. So the daily journal today is actually going to be just thinking through what kind of friendships you would like to have in your life. Like, really deep think on this. What do you see? Do you see yourself going and doing things with these ladies? Do you see hanging out at home, maybe going for walks, doing adventures? Do you see just talking over coffee, sitting on the couch? I mean, there's no wrong answer to this. This is your imagination. You get to decide what you want. The questions on here are, what type of friendship are you missing the most? And why do you think that is? I will easily admit, I miss the kinds of friendships that I had when I was a kid, where it was just so easy. Literally, I made my best friend for kindergarten because we had the same backpack. And so we walked home together every single day and we were best friends. Like, I miss those really simple, easy relationships. I don't remember if we talked deep or not. It didn't matter. She was my best friend. And then, what qualities do you value most in your friends? This is really important. This is part of that people picker piece. Wow. People picker piece. Say that a lot of times fast. But recognizing the values that you would like in a friend is really key, because so often I've had this before in my past where it's like we don't agree on the same kinds of things. And while we can still have a conversation, Sometimes you just need that person that you can go deeper with into that. And sometimes you can have it with the person that doesn't share the same value. I have had that. But a lot of times it's difficult because, you're going to find yourself walking on eggshells, kind of going or beating around the bush and doing all that stuff. And, yeah, it's just not as great. And I'm sorry, I'm going to answer this because I can see that someone has tried to find our life. I'm just going to tell Facebook is not working. So I will send the recording. But how sweet. Aw, I'm so glad she checked in. Thank you, Becky. That was you when you get to see this. I want to make sure that I am communicating. So anyways, how can you also be a better friend to those in your squad? So while we are looking at people who we want in our squad, it's also important to flip that coin too. Because here's the thing. In fact, some of the questions and some of the things in this action step, when AI created it for me, I mean, I love AI. It's our sister company, is AI Brand Creationeers. It actually was talking a lot about what you wanted in your squad. And I thought, okay, that's true. That is true. We need to think about what we want in our squad. But we also have to think about what it takes to be a reciprocal good friend. Now, we're not going to talk about that a whole lot today, but that could actually be an entire another challenge. I have been a great friend. I have been a terrible friend in my past. And unfortunately, I've learned a lot of difficult, lessons because of it. So definitely make sure that you are trying to be a good friend. Now, the beautiful thing is we're not going to dive into it today. However, the freebie that I'm going to show you in a minute does go into it. So make sure that you grab that freebie. The next page just has some action steps specifically for how you can cultivate those friendships. So I highly suggest taking a look at it. And it's just, again, just a guide to get you started. I'm going to highly suggest also that you go back and do this meditation again. You can use these meditations as much as you want, but as you're looking at the next steps, go ahead and go back in. What does success look like to you? Think about that with your friendships. Do the work that you do in this meditation for friendships. What do you want in a friendship? What do you need to do? How do you cultivate that? Really think through it. And now here's the freebie I was just talking about. So this was done by our own Patty Lynn Gossman, our Party Lynn. She goes by both. And Patty Lynn has some really great practical skills for positive living. And she put together these top 10 tips to make meaningful connections. And they're really good, guys. Go check them out. Some of them are kind of old-fashioned. And I love that about them. I feel like we need some of these old-fashioned things. We've gotten so just inundated with social media, being on the screens all the time. We've forgotten some of the etiquette and just ways to meet people. We meet people online all the time, but how about in person? So go check this out, grab it. It also has, as a bonus tip, how to be a good friend, which is what we just talked about. We have some other ways that you can get connected with us. So if you are not already following our Facebook page, which is different than our Facebook group, we're going to start doing a lot more main communications on our Facebook page because we're starting to have chapters and we're looking at what that structure is going to be. So that might be more of a group setting, whereas the Facebook page is going to be a place for our main communications. So make sure that you grab that and you are liking it and following it so that you get all of our updated information. You can always check out your local Gals chapter. We currently are in 3 states. Oregon and Washington is combined, and we're in Utah, and we are looking at starting some more. And we have people who have signed up on the interest form. So we will be looking at starting some more chapters, probably really closer to GalaCon, but you can check out your chapters. Also, you can sign up for the interest form if you're thinking, I would like a Gals chapter in my area. Go ahead and do that there. And finally, our GalaCon event. I say finally, but seriously, our GalaCon event, guys, is like no other conference that you will have been at before. This is not your normal conference. So we are going to be vamping up. Our entire GalaCon is based around cultivating your squad. So everything that we are doing, including our experiential vendors, our slumber party setup, our gala. Oh, imagine a room of women cheering you on. Every single woman that's going to enter the gala, not only will we be dressed up, because who doesn't love a chance to get dressed up, we'll also get a pair of Pom Poms, and we are going to cheer each other on. We're going to have some entertainment. It's going to be fantastic. Guys, you do not want to miss out on this. Moving my notes. So make sure that you, if you're thinking you want to go to GalaCon, go ahead and check out our event, check out the information. If you're not sure that it's going to be a right fit for you, or you're just not sure about whatever it is, feel free to reach out. I am perfectly fine with you emailing me at mariahyoung@gmail.com, which will be in the email that's coming up, so you can directly email me with questions. I don't mind one bit. Please do. So find more information there. Get involved. These are great ways to also actively, hands-on, directly cultivate your squad. All right, don't forget you have a bonus in your workbook. It's at the end of the workbook. I moved it back, adding in today's stuff, but don't forget that you have a Ideal Life Vision Board AI walkthrough that I will do 2 videos, one with the AI stuff. It just helps you with some images and stuff. And then the next one is Canva, and you can take the ideas from the AI walkthrough, and it'll give you ideas for images that you can use in Canva. You don't have to use it, but hey, it's just fun. Then also the 1-hour power session, guys, make sure that you schedule that as soon as possible. The scheduling window closes in 3 weeks. So it doesn't mean that you can't schedule with me further out if you don't have time soon. You just won't be able to get to that link once that time is up. So if that makes sense. So you can actually schedule like 6 months out if you want. But if you get past 3 weeks, you won't be able to schedule it. Okay. Hope that makes sense. All right, ladies, let's have a little fun. Let's make sure that you're checking out these scavenger hunt posts. They're really fun. We just wanted to create just a little bit of fun for all the stuff that we have going on. And like I said before, it was not supposed to get scheduled at the same time, but it happened. So it is what it is. So let's just have some fun with it. We would love to have a picture of something on your bucket list. And again, if you've done something on your bucket list, go ahead and share that. Or if you have a bucket list item that you would like to share that you're like excited about doing, share that as well. It's totally up to you. It does not have to be a picture of you or with you in it. It can be a picture that you pulled off online and that you're sharing and saying, hey, this is on my bucket list. So we would love to see. All right. That is the rest of our challenge. That is it. We are done. I hope that this challenge made you very proud of yourself. Looking back sometimes can be really difficult. It can feel impossible to get through sometimes. It can feel very heavy, and yet you did it. You made it. You've come back every day, and you've done the work. If you haven't finished the work, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. You can print it out. You can do it when you're ready. I have to say some of the more difficult work, which we didn't go completely, deep into, there's definitely more stuff that we could do. But that stuff took me time. Sometimes I would go to it. I'd have to leave for a week or two. I'd come back. I mean, it takes time. So give yourself a lot of grace. And then also, I hope that you will use some of the links that we shared to get connected with the Gals community. we're continuing to grow. We are putting new things in there. We are always trying to think of different ways to encourage and uplift other women to grow and learn together. So what was your aha from today's moment from today's video? Please share. And those of you, obviously, since we had to do this as a recording, I'll make sure I get this out as quickly as possible so that you are able to actually enjoy the video as soon as possible. I will share, I believe it should be in YouTube, so I'll share that link instead of the Facebook link, which is what I've been posting, and I do apologize for that, guys. But thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for your grace, and thank you for taking time for you to go through this challenge, and let us know how we can help in cultivating your squad. All right, as I always say, here we go, with love and pom poms. We will see you later. Woohoo! Live creatively, friends. Bye.